Well, if you are the parent of a teenager, chances are you've had to drag them out of bed so they wouldn't be late for school.
And now a major medical group is calling the chronic sleepiness of teens a public health issue, and it's recommending schools push back their start times. News 8's Keely Arthur joins us now to explain.
A report from the American Academy of Pediatrics says that a teen's natural sleep cycle makes it difficult for them to fall asleep before 11 at night. To prevent sleep deprivation, APP is now recommending that all middle school and high schools start at 8:30 in the morning or later.
When teenagers hit the sack late at night and then don't roll out of bed until later the next day, it may have more to do with biology than self-discipline.
When we hit our teenage years or puberty, then our circadian rhythms tends to kind of switch. And so we want later bedtimes. Our body tends to go to sleep later and then wake up later.
The American Academy of Pediatricians says nearly 90% of high school students get fewer than 8.5 hours of sleep, a pattern that can lead to a number of issues.
Poor concentration, poor attention span, some is mood changes. You can definitely be sleepier, so it can lead to drowsiness, and that can be a big issue in teenagers because they're driving.
More than a year ago, Onalaska High School considered pushing back its 7:30 start time, but decided against it after realizing factors beyond sleep time would be affected.
One issue is that specifically in the afternoon, a lot of parents rely on older siblings, high school age, middle school kids, to take care of younger siblings at the end of the school day. The other problem that we ran into as a school district is if we move our start time back, as a ripple effect of that, either the elementary schools now have to start much earlier, or the elementary schools have to go that much later because, in our case, our transportation.
While the research shows that later start times would be beneficial to teens, Dr. Anderson says no matter what time your student's school begins, you need to make their sleep a priority.
Even if you move the bedtime to 10 p.m., if you establish a good bedtime routine and wake time routine, usually the body will adjust to that.
All of the high schools in the La Crosse School District start before 8 in the morning, and that's not out of the ordinary. Only about 15% of schools nationwide start at the recommended 8:30 or later.
All right, thanks a lot, Keely. And some of the things you can do to help your teen establish healthy sleep patterns is to set a standard bedtime, make sure they avoid caffeine, and also have them turn off those electronics.